Hello YouTube, Red to Green here again with another recap. Today is December 21st, 2021, and I'm up $1,000. I'm actually up $1,002.07. That was like a psychological number for me. I started day slow. I was around 470 at some point, and I gave back to 380, 370. So $100 shaved off the top, and I was like, okay, let me get to 400 and stop. So, and then I saw BFRI, and I was scalping BFRI. But let's get into the recap. I traded 6 stocks today: BFRI, GRTX, JAGX, PTPI, RELI, SOPA. A lot of sympathy, continuation, momentum stocks. Nothing really new. JAGX was new. RELI was new. SOPA from yesterday, PTPI from last week, GRTX from last week, and BFRI from seems like forever. Let's start with RELI. I started trading that stock, and I was watching it on my market open watch list, and it kind of popped, and I didn't trade that first candle, 1 minute candle, or I didn't trade that 50 break into the 70 because of the TOS. I don't really trade a first minute with it. There's a lot of lag on it, so I skipped that, and unfortunately that was almost a 30-cent move. What I did trade is I did trade the pullbacks. I trade the pullback of the low at 720. I got in at 720. I got out at 30 something. So it was a decent. It was not a large share size kind of initially, and then I was hoping it's gonna show a red to green off of break of 40. That's what I was waiting. I was waiting break of 40, 740, and test the highs again, and never happened. It kind of flushed under VWAP, and I kind of left it alone. Started trading BFRI. BFRI was actually moving, but I'm going to get on BFRI later after I review, not all of them, but a couple of other stock. So RELI was on the watch list, didn't really hold, pulled back to this trend line. I drew, broke it, and then all of a sudden, while I was trading BFRI, or was it? Yeah, BFRI. SOPA, I believe, halted. Yeah. RELI just shoot up out of nowhere, and it kind of, I start watching it at the test of VWAP here, and I got in. I traded at 720 to 770 area. I did not hold as much as I should have because it was moving really choppy, and I'm still not comfortable taking the momentum stocks because of just how the past quarter been, and I scalped it a little bit. I'm up on it $100. Nothing bad, nothing crazy. It was good. It wasn't a bad. It was a good mover. I'm glad it actually started testing the highs again. Gave us some good opportunities. I know a lot of people made a good money on it. So that was it for me. As soon as I saw that after Hull did not hold up and it kind of sold off, I stopped trading it. Maybe here and there, just a small kind of a break of that flat top around 750. It didn't hold and sold, so I left it alone. $100. GRTX was another one. GRTX was interesting. It's a stock from last week as well, so it's been yesterday as well. Yesterday it was actually nice to me. I made over $350 on it, so I was expecting kind of the same thing. I didn't start trading until later, but what happened with GRTX is I was trading this 430 break to test another high for 440, and oh my goodness, it was painful. It was so painful. It never broke that kind of resistance area, and it's just the volume was not there. I saw there was like 1,800 shares going in, and the stock would go up 2 cents, and so the volume was definitely not there. Even though you see on the 5 minute is 1.3 million, so like it's just, it didn't move for me. It was ridiculous. It was like 416, 420 was just sit there. Was no trade. Time and sales did not move at all, and then all of a sudden starts moving. So it's kind of like it was really tough to get in, and I'm pretty much flat on that. But I was down, and I think that's the last trade I made on it was a GRTX. break of that 420, I believe 417 to into 420, so 2 cents. And that little tiny trade brought me over 1,000. So, and I said, I'm quitting. I'm for the day. I'm done. And I did. I just shut everything down, and I'm happy the psychological number was reached, and I'm good. So the next stock is JAGX. JAGX actually came in early, and I wasn't watching scans. I was trading BFRI, and I kind of was already done for the day mostly, as I wasn't really focusing on trading. And I went and got lunch and just kind of start doing other things. And then I looked at the scans, and I saw JAGX moved, and I actually traded that first 5-minute pullback, break of 160. That 167, 168 area. So and I did trade it. It was a small share size. I wasn't expecting it to move at all. It's like 2 cent move on it, and nothing really crazy. But anyway, played around with it, flat pretty much. PTPI was interesting. PTPI, I believe, got me a couple times earlier in the week. That's NES. Yeah, PTPI was one of the stocks that I keep trading, and it just flat. Well, the PTPI here was nice, $100. So I guess it's not bad. Maybe I was thinking about another stock. Well, 18. Yeah, PTPI traded yesterday was $20 loss. So I traded it today, $70 in the green. That's not bad. Again, not a lot of hold in the lows, right? It kind of just all over the place. I didn't trade at the beginning. I started to trade the 5 break again, never happened. Scalped it here and there, just kind of started. It was really tough. You have to really concentrate. That it was jumpy all over, and you had to watch the bid. Glad to be up $70 on it. And then the next stock is SOPA. SOPA was just a joke. That's I always get one of those iSig moments. It actually halted going up, and then it released higher. So it was a strong stock. I was actually up maybe over $30 on it at some point, and then I started trading the pullbacks after the halt resume. And those pullbacks were crazy. You see the 37s, 40s, and then I started getting in a break of 50. And that thing just flushes to 12, 12, 11. So it's like a 30, 40 cent moves. And I was trading small share size. I was trading 75 shares. So I lost a decent amount per share considering it was 75 shares. But yeah, usually those moves after halt, you either get in with the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds of the halt on the first pullback, or just not getting at all, because it's just not been working out for me. It's too choppy. So lost $50 on it. As soon as I sold off and crossed the 12 area to the downside, I left it alone. So nothing really to show here. $52. Now the big one for me was today BFRI. BFRI was a nice move. It halted the first 15 minutes of the market open, so it was a good sign of the market going up for that stock. I guess it was showing momentum because the RELI and BFRI both started moving, so that was good. And they were resuming from the halt maybe 30 seconds apart or 40 seconds apart, so that was kind of interesting. BFRI, good volume. I like that. It was easy to get in. For scalping, it was easy get in, get out. It was spready. That's one thing. It was 9 cents. I saw 9 cent spreads at some point. So sometimes when you get in at 41 and you out at 40, well, guess what? You made 8 cents. You just minus the spread, you're down a cent. So it's definitely an interesting stock. It was really nice to trade it on pullbacks, on the micro pullbacks, and actually watching the bid, because the bids sometimes don't move after that initial volume. All that initial volume was doing is just buying the people who are selling, and that's it. And it's just never crossed that volume of sellers, right? The buyers did not overcome the sellers, so the bids actually never moved. But you can still see people buying on the ask. It's just not enough of them. I guess that's another sign of low volume. And sometimes you just have to watch for that bid to move up, and it lags behind. The ask would jump up, and then the bid slowly moving back up a couple cents. But that's a good time for scalping to get out, is because you're not necessarily going to get filled at the bid. You're most likely going to get filled sometimes somewhere between the ask and the bid, right? At least with TOS, with a market order. And it's better for your average, at least when you get out. So that's what I've been doing on BFRI, and it's been nice to me. So another thing why I waited to review BFRI until the end is, if I look at my previous history trade, I traded BFRI a lot, and BFRI brought me some decent money. For the past 2 weeks, BFRI brought me really good money. I'm looking at it, and sometimes I'm wondering. So, like, for example, today, without BFRI, if we did not have BFRI today, I would be only up $120. After all this mess, $120. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things, keeping all of your eggs in one basket. And what I'm telling myself is like, okay, what if there's no BFRI tomorrow? What are you going to do? Are you going to be at $34, $78 days? That's not sustainable. So, and during my live stream, by the way, you can watch my live stream every trade I made. It's on live video, and my live recaps, not live recaps, it's a live archives on YouTube channel. And during the live, I was like, okay, it reminds me of OCGN back in the days. OCGN was really nice, steppy, it was moving waves, ups and downs. It's like I was reading that stock. I was in the groove, and one day OCGN lasted about 4 or 5 days, and it was good. And then one day OCGN, I traded it. I was like, I'm expecting the same thing coming in, and then one day it's I'm losing money on it. I was like, what the hell is happening? Why am I losing money on it? And then I noticed the volume wasn't there. It was choppy. The algos took over, I guess. That's what people like to blame. And I gave back money on that stock, and I was still stubborn. I was like, no, that the OCGN was printing money for me, so I'm going to continue milking it. Well, you got to know when to stop. So same thing with BFRI. Until it gives money, I guess you got to take. But the thing is, if there were no BFRI, those past 2 weeks, past week and a half would not be looking that good. So that's something to be just concerned about. Just hoping every day for BFRI. How many times BFRI will come a year? 3 times a year? And then what are the rest of the 9 months, right? Is going to be flat months? That's not sustainable. But anyway, something to be concerned about, and learn other approaches, other techniques apart from scalping. I do like the technique buying off the lows. A lot of people, buying the dip, right, and buying the lows. It's kind of when you feel like the stock is consolidating. So, like, for example, let's look at BFRI after the halt resume, right? Resumed the halt, pushed back up, and look how it started basing out, right? This is where people would get in around the 85, 86 area, and they would be just holding the stock because that stock closed and opened at 86, right? So, or 88. They would hold until 1330, 50 cents. So that's also something to consider, because the reason you did that is because you feel like it's basing, right? And your stop would be around 50s, but still there could be a better way to do it. You could have got in around this 70 area, 60, and stop as 50. That's another approach, right? And if you look at a faster chart, a faster chart would even show you better picture on when to get in, even though it's not a best example because it's after halt resume. But you see how it based it out here, so you had a chance to get in somewhere around this area. You saw this little kind of consolidation area. You would have probably got in. And in this case, it didn't work out, right? It sold off, but at least you didn't get in right here at 30 and out at break of 50, whatever. You would have been in at 80 and out at 60, whatever. Whenever you saw that break, maybe out of 87, whatever. The exposure, the risk is different there. So getting on getting in the lows on the consolidation, when you see that build up in volume, when you see buyers coming in, you gotta have that level 2 support. And that's another approach that I want to learn how to do. I want to practice it more. It's difficult because when scalping's working out and you're trying to change the approach, sometimes it doesn't work out. You feel like you're making a step back because you're starting from ground zero, and practice, validate, all that jazz again. So that's why it's difficult to implement new strategies, and I feel like they have to develop naturally, right? When you're used to reading level 2, when you're used to understand when there's a consolidation happening, when there's actually build up happening, all those things are coming gradually to you. So anyway, that's just something like a food for thought. When there's not a good scalping stock for the day, there's other opportunities and other techniques that we all should be aware of and try to work out. So yeah, that's a recap for today. Up over $1,000, pretty happy. Let me know, guys, how you did in your comments. Did you trade? What did you trade? How did you do in BFRI? Did you take that RELI halt up? Did you take that SOPA halt up? Let me know. Let me know what you guys traded. Please hit a like button, subscribe. It definitely helps me to support this channel. It shows me that you guys are interested in these recaps and watching. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.